So what did you end up studying at Stanford?
Do you know who Perry Mason is?
I should know. I feel the name is ringing a bell, but
Perry Mason was the coolest lawyer on TV. He was the Perry Mason show, right?
Yeah, that's
Perry
right.
Mason
Right.
won every case, wore nice suits, and I didn't know it at the time, but as I go back and look at them later in life, he got all the women too. He got,
Oh, yeah, that's important.
He won. Perry was winning, and so I wanted to be Perry Mason.
Okay.
So think about it. This is 1970s. If you were a smart young African American, you were encouraged to either become a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even coming from Oklahoma, that the Wall Street investment banker thing wasn't quite a thing yet for people like me. So I said, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer. So I majored in political science.
Okay.
Now, at the same time, I had been the editor of my junior high paper, the high school paper, which was called The Hallway. So I had been dabbling in this journalism thing. I enjoyed putting stories together and being that person who told stories for my student population. So
who pointed out that talent? Like when did you recognize that my ability to either write or rewrite a particular, like when did that get unearthed?
I really wish I could remember, because obviously there's school counselors that say, hey, why don't you try to do this? I probably wrote essays fairly well, I imagine. So English professors might have said, hey, have you thought about working for the paper? I think for myself, I just probably volunteered because I liked writing. I didn't think it could be a profession though.
Yeah.
Because there were no black writers. I mean, there were, but in terms of that being a career. So even at Stanford, I wrote for the Stanford Daily. I did a news show we called 30 Minutes. A weekly news show. I was also a DJ. I had a whole different DJ.
Oh,
voice.
hold on now,
DJ, right?
Hold on now.
DJ voice. But again, those were fun, but I never saw myself doing it because at the time, think about it, there were no blacks on TV.
Right.
There in terms of newspapers, because it was really radio, television, and newspapers. There were black newspapers, but you didn't see us thriving in the wider space. So I never thought of that as a career. So when I graduated, majored in political science, I applied to some law schools, but I also said, let me see if there's a job out there that maybe I could get. So I applied to a number of journalism institutions, and there's a guy named Fred Clark who I'll always be indebted to. He was Time Incorporated's affirmative action officer. So they had hired him to clearly go find talented African Americans, and somehow, again, this is where God works. My resume found its way to his desk in New York, and so he called me and said, "Hey, why don't you come out and interview?" They flew me out. That would never happen today. They flew me from San Francisco to New York, and I interviewed with the top editors of Time, People, Money, Fortune, and Sports Illustrated, all in the course of 2 days. Matter of fact, I only brought clothes for 1 day. When they told me I had to stay another day, they actually bought me more clothes to wear.
What, man,
the next day,
wow.
right? So that happened. So and ultimately, as I was getting in the car, they would send me back to the airport. Fred said, if you had your choice of magazines to work for, which one would it be? I was tired. I had used all my BS. I had, impressed all these people. At the last place I interviewed was Sports Illustrated. I had never really covered sports because I played baseball, and I didn't want to. And a lot of my friends were athletes.
Right,
I didn't want to get my butt kicked back at the dorm.
Right.
Folks I was living
That's
with.
a good point.
So I just said SI because it was the last interview I had. Long story short, ultimately they ended up offering me a job, and that kickstarted my journey into sports. I often think about what would have happened if I had said Time. Or if I'd said Fortune.
Right.
At that moment, that one. Think about those intersections.
That's true.
That change your life.
That's true.
That guide the trajectory of your life. Right. So I don't know if I answered your question.
You did.
People often ask me how I got into journalism, and I say journalism has always been in me.